guys, welcome back to The Organized Money. I'm Alaina.
I'm Tori.
And today we are talking about 5 topics that you should cover with your spouse or your soon-to-be spouse when it comes down to money.
There's a lot of topics, very important conversations that quite frankly should have happened before we got married, but that we had to kind of learn on the fly. And we'll be doing another video about specifically how we talk about money in the near future. But for now, we're going to talk about 5 general questions that you should cover either before you get married or if you're already married, immediately.
Okay, the first topic you should cover is how much do you make, how much do you own, and what do you owe? This is very important when you're about to get married, to know what you're getting yourself into. A lot of couples actually don't know what the other person makes, or when you're dating, y'all may have not been completely honest, but by the time you're getting ready to get married, it is time to have a very serious conversation. If this is a little bit awkward for you, one thing that you could possibly do is send your spouse or your soon-to-be spouse an email and list out everything that you have going on with your money as far as your job, how much you make, what you own, what you owe, all a list of your debts. So then that way it gives them time to digest it, and then y'all can come together a couple days after and look it over together and make a plan. What?
Sorry, I just had a thought, like you send this email and somebody emails back, it's over. I'm not doing this with you.
Well, at least you know
At least you know,
At least you know ahead of time.
Yeah, it's better to find out sooner rather than later.
I guess, yeah. But that's the first thing. You definitely want to know how much you make, how much you owe, and what you own. Now, let's get it all out in the open.
Get it all out in the open. Second topic that you need to cover with your spouse or soon-to-be spouse is, will you merge your finances? Will you all operate out of one joint account? Will everybody's name be on every account, or will I keep my own account and you keep your own account and we pay bills out of a joint account or pay bills out of one account? Whatever it is, you need to know and you all need to cover how that's going to happen. Now, the important thing about this is to make sure that there's no secret accounts, right? No secret accounts, because that can lead to what's called financial infidelity. 19% of all couples who have this financial infidelity going on end up in divorce court. Right. Very, very, very important, because we got to make sure that we know what's going on. And so financial infidelity is when there's at least one partner who is hiding or secretive with their accounts, how much they have, what they spend it on, all those types of things. So if we're married or we're talking about seriously getting married, these are topics that we should be able to discuss with one another, even if it's a hard conversation, but just a conversation that needs to happen nonetheless.
The third thing that you want to talk about is your financial goals. Individually, you each have your own financial goals coming into the relationship. But once you are in this relationship and you know it's for the long haul, you want to combine and see if y'all can line up what your financial goals are and get on the same page. If one of you wants to purchase a house while the other one wants to pay off debt, then you need to figure out what y'all need to do first and then what could be second. Probably paying off debt might make a lot of sense so that you can get a bigger house, and then that way you can make sure that you get more done. If y'all don't combine forces and don't have the same financial goals, usually you'll end up with a financial struggle and you won't get anywhere very quickly. But if y'all are able to come together and decide what you're going to do first and what you're going to do second, then you're able to get way more done. So make sure you are talking about your financial goals with your partner.
The fourth topic that you need to cover is your family's financial history. Now, this is what I mean. It's very important. How you were raised to think about money, how you were raised to treat money. Even if it was subconsciously, you got some ideals about money from the way that you were raised. For example, when there's $5 in the account, Alaina says, we got no money. I say, we got at least 4 items off the dollar menu.
We don't have any money.
We got 4 items from the dollar. That's 4 double cheeseburgers.
It is not, sir.
It's not. It's not. But part of the way I was raised was to spend down to nothing if I needed to, right? In order to get what I needed to done, with the thought that you could always work more and get more money.
But I was raised to where you had a set amount in your account that you considered zero, but it wasn't actually zero. So I would spend down to $500, and then I would keep that money in my account and just make sure that I did not spend below that amount. So in my family, my mom, my dad, we were aggressive savers. So we didn't believe in spending down to actually zero.
We did. We're okay spending down to zero because my family's Caribbean. And so we're always like, well, just go work harder. Go work harder and go make some more money.
Right.
Because we weren't really spending frivolously. We were spending on things that were necessary. But in actuality, if I thought back to it, probably some things we could have waited to buy, to spend on. But that type of thinking, though, framed the way that I was raised and framed the way even that I think about money till this very day.
And number 5 is kids. You need to decide how much you're going to spend on children. There's so many different things that you need to talk about in this area as far as private school versus public school, the college education, how much are y'all going to pay for. But knowing these type of topics and being able to talk about it with your spouse will help you in the future to make sure that y'all are on the same page. For instance, with Tori and myself, we have 2 children, Alyssa and Tori, and they each have a weekly allowance of $20. We are pretty, strict when it comes down to the $20. They're allowed to spend it however they choose, but they cannot go over this amount. And we are pretty set on that, being that we have designed that together. If you and your spouse aren't on the same page, then this could become an area where y'all could possibly start to argue if one parent feels like the child should get more versus the other parent who feels like the child should stay at the allowance amount. So all of these different types of talks you definitely need to be having with your spouse or your soon-to-be spouse to make sure that you are on the same page, because finances is the #1 reason that people get divorced, above any other reason. So talking this over with your spouse will definitely help your relationship be on the same page.
That's not to say that these conversations are necessarily going to be easy or going to be, happy all the time.
Right.
But there are hard conversations that are absolutely necessary, because it's better to deal with them up front than to be 10 years into a marriage and go, wait a minute, you're $100,000 in debt? Because that would suck, right?
It really would. And you have to make sure that you have an open mind and you listen to your partner. No financial goal is silly. No one is combating with each other when we're just talking in this space. And if you feel like it's getting a little too heated, then you should table it and come back to it when everyone else is a little bit more calm.
Yeah, none of these topics are a one conversation topic. Right. Not one of them. Right. All of them are going to take several conversations over, because people grow and people change. People's financial goals change. When we first got married, we had a certain set of financial goals, and now that we're 10 years in, they've changed. They've grown. We've adopted, and so these are conversations. Not only do you need to have, before you get married or even right after you get married, these are continuing topics that you should cover as you go along in your relationship.
So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure that you give it a thumbs up. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel, and we will see you in the next video. Remember that the next video, we're going to be talking a little bit more personally about our personal experiences and the different conversations that we have had to have around money and how we currently budget our money as a couple. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned for that, and we will see you in the next one. Until then, keep organizing your life so that you can achieve your dreams. Bye guys.